Well, hello friends and welcome to another episode of Bollywood This Week. Friends, the fifth movie which we're going to review this week is none other than Shobin Shahir's much awaited movie called as Parava. Trust me friends, if you don't know about Shobin Shahir is the same guy who was the physical education teacher in the movie Premam. Right from, getting its dance steps correct to impress the teacher in that movie and to coming of age so beautifully and directing a movie like Parava. Parava is a victory of human emotions. Parava is a victory of people who believe in making meaningful cinema. Parava is a victory of great cinematography. Parava is a victory of people who are new to screen, a fresh bunch of faces we have not seen before in Malayalam cinema. Basic minimum filmmaking, high on content, on screenplay, and those two gem of kids. Literally, if I meet them, I am not going to leave those two kids. Those two kids are the most adorable debutant kids ever to be seen on Indian celluloid. I mean, those two kids gave me goosebump moments like I got, watching Slumdog Millionaire with those two small kids. I mean, right from the start, when we are introduced to these characters, going into a house and, taking a fish in the mouth and going on the streets of Kochi, with the cycle, Willy. Those scenes show us that Shobin Shahir had faith in this movie while writing this movie down, and full marks to Anwar Rashid, who got the biggest cheer by the audience when his name came, Anwar Rashid Productions on screen. The crowd went literally berserk because there are people in India like Mr. Anwar Rashid who produce fantastic movies. I mean, such movies have gone to Bollywood and even Tamil Telugu cinema. No producer would even think of investing a lakh rupee in this. But the producers having faith in Shobin Shahir, and what other than Dulquer Salman coming in this movie. I was in a shock. I was in a surprise. I expected Dulquer to be for just a 5 and 10 minute role, but Dulquer Salman is for more than 38 minutes. Whenever, as soon as Dulquer, such a big star, superstar of Malayalam cinema. I mean, he's at the peak of his career. He comes in with loose, white t-shirt and track pant, and what beard he's kept. He shaved his mustache, like typical Muslims do. He's kept a beard. And the first scene with a bat in his hand in his stance, I started my stopwatch from there until the time it disappears from the screen and comes back in the climax fantastically to leave you moist-eyed, to leave you in awe of Malayalam cinema, that these guys are making meaningful cinema. These guys don't want to make those massive no-brainers, and this movie is a perfect example. For me, after Angamali Diaries, AB and Takeoff, if there is a Malayalam movie which hit the spot bang on, Parava has got to be that movie. I mean, a debutant director taking in such camera angle shots. He's made this movie leisurely. He's made this movie like a boss. I mean, the starting rolling titles of this movie comes. He's just taken his time so beautifully, and cinematographer Little Swayam. Whoever you are, buddy, Little Swayam cinematography can give competition to those, big Italian, cinematographers who come into Bollywood to shoot fancy sequences, the fancy gear equipments. This guy, Little Swayam, I don't know what equipments he's used, but the way he's captured those pigeons. I mean, shooting pigeons is not easy, especially trained pigeons, because your scenes can go haywire. Pigeons have a mood swing whenever they want to. The day you want to shoot them, they're gonna have a mood swing. They're not gonna fly in pairs. But every single shot, I mean, the scene where the newborn pigeon comes out of his egg, and that scene was like an epic scene. A master cinematographer, Little Swayam, the little pigeon breaking the egg and coming out, right from showing the pigeon's legs to putting threads into the pigeon's leg. Every scene, and literally even the scenes where the long hair of Amal Shah flowing in the air, and in the climax he's running, right from Amal Shah running to Govind, that is Hasib B's pointy teeth shown beautifully on camera. This movie is a spectacle delight. Some scenes you'll be just sitting and wondering how just two boys sitting on a fort in Kochi, and this guy has captured that shot so beautifully. Coming to the other actors of this movie, Dulquer Salman as Imran is fantastic. I mean, the way he brings, I think the gang's name is 4 and 6's Matt and Cherry gang, how on a terrace of a building they write it down, and the cricketing gang, how one day everything is going so nicely, but the character of Shane Nigam, I mean, he's a newcomer, but the variations Shane Nigam has shown into his character. I mean, for the start of the movie, you'll think Shane Nigam is a nothing to do guy, just is standing on the balcony with beard on his face. Why is he depressed? What the hell has happened to him? But when Shane Nigam's flashback comes into foray, the pain, the angst. I mean, there's a specific scene where Shane Nigam, literally breaks down so beautifully. It can give many Bollywood actors tough competition. That scene when that guy cried his lungs, liver, heart, kidney out on screen, that is the scene of the movie for me. But in the climax, when he comes to know that his past was due to this certain individual, Shobin Shahir, I mean, directing a movie and getting the most meatiest role in the movie. Shobin Shahir's druggy character, right from poking needles into his hands and looking so menacing, going into a medical store, and the pre-interval fight is a fight which can give many slow-mo fights all over the world. Tough competition. I mean, just go and watch the pre-interval sequence of Parava. That 10 to 12 minute fight sequence is leisurely shot. Every punch takes about 20-30 seconds to crack in, but the background music and the music by Rex Vijayan cannot be left out in this movie, friends. Rex Vijayan's music, I mean, especially when there are simple scenes. I mean, can you imagine a simple scene on a beach? There's a ball kept over there, 10 to 12, almost without t-shirt, lanky kids running and somersaulting into a long jump. That simple sequence, background score is like another level. The top camera angle shot, by Little Swayam. Literally, I felt I'm watching City of God. I'm not watching, a Malayalam movie called as Parava. The beaches look so clean and neat on camera, especially the BGM when, the two boys, Amal Shah and Govind, Willy on a small cycle. Epic. But I could not find out the name of the girl who wears a burqa and comes into school, that small 15-year-old girl. That chemistry between Amal Shah trying to win over that girl in the burqa is absolutely fantastic. All in all, Parava is a great movie. It's a legendary cinema. It's a cinema coming in small package, but as you call in Hindi, chota packet, bada dhamaka. So friends, what is Parava all about? Let's see in this review. Parava has 2, 3, 4 stories coming together in one foray. Many of you may not concentrate on the stories, but the first story is about Amal Shah and Govind. Two, school going children. Amal Shah eventually fails in his 9th standard. That scene, when everyone in the classroom has been told to go to standard 10th B, and poor Amal Shah sitting alone in his classroom with long hair, and the teacher telling him that don't worry Mole, come and sit in the front bench, don't worry, don't cry. And when all the students from standard 8 and comes and sits with him in the class 9, and teacher tells that from today, this guy Irshad is going to be the leader. From that scene to his friend Govind, being with him all throughout the movie, and the scene where these two guys, break the bottles of a glass, take, material from a local vendor, color it and make the manja. I cannot translate manja in English, but the thread which we use to fly the kite, and how by using this, specially homemade thread, to cut the kites of the opposite gang member. That scene, I mean, showing of kite flying on screen, no director would show this. I mean, okay, if there is a kite flying festival, then showing these scenes makes sense. But Shobin Shahir has taken leisurely pleasure and shown all these scenes without any fear. So friends, the first story is about these two people. The second story, you may find it very funny, but the second story is about two pigeons. Yes friends, there are two pigeons in this movie. One pigeon, bought by, Amal Shah. He sends it secretly to mate with a male pigeon, and how these two mate, and how in every 15-16 minutes we are shown visuals of these two pigeons, and how one day they give birth to a smaller pigeon. That story is a very good story. Not many people will notice and relate to it, but that is a different story. The third story is about Shane Nigam. Who is Shane Nigam? What happened in his past will come when we do the detailed review of this movie. The fourth story is about Ikka. dear Dulkar, whenever he comes on screen, it's a delight. Friends, the film did not release on Thursday, outside Kerala. Unfortunately, we had to watch it on Friday, that is yesterday. But trust me, I go to a single screen cinema where there are 845 seats, not even in Great Father, not even in Sakau, not even in Angamali Diaries when it became a big hit, not even in Oru Mexican Aparata. These seats were full. But yesterday, out of this 845, almost 750 to 800 seats were house full because the craze amongst these people, for Parava after it got rave reviews in Kerala is absolutely fantastic. I mean, it is worth every single rupee. So when the story starts at how these two kids are riding cycles on the streets of Kochi and they want to take part in the pigeon flying competition. They have to select two best pigeons who can fly in tandem motion for the longest period of time against the opponents. Literally unabashedly, showing knee dosa, beef curry, they're eating beef curry, and how, Amal Sheikh, staring at Govind because he did not, show him the answer in the examination. Such small scenes, like, do too much, in the story, and the story moves forward, and the next scene, how both are lucid dreaming. Yes, friends, Amal Shah is lucid dreaming about how one day these two are going to wear suits, goggles, and they're going to win the pigeon competition. That scene is fantastic. But friends, the class sequences, when these two go to school and our hero Amal Shah, a small kid, fails in 9th and that, his friend goes into the 10th. Those scenes are very nice. Enters a new girl in the school with the hijab. The first half of this movie is basically around the school and how these boys come into, conclusion at what they're going to do in the pigeon race and what they have to do in order to go and propose to the girl. Those scenes are very fantastically shown. But the winner is the sports day sequence. I mean, how on the sports day sequence, a normal long jump, and Amal Shah Irshad goes and does a somersault, and the PT teacher tells that no, you're not supposed to do a somersault, you're supposed to jump, and how he wins the running race, and how that girl in the hijab, literally starts liking, Irshad. They're not shown clearly. Those scenes are very nice in the movie. But one day when both of them are standing on a terrace, and Irshad narrates the story about Dulkar Salman, the first scene, the cricket match is absolutely fantastic. How the first scene where Shane Nigam comes and hits a big six, making them win the matches fantastically. Shane Nigam loves Shrinda Asham. Yes, friends, Shrinda Asham, another fantastic actress in this movie. How Shrinda Asham works in a medical store, and one day when the owner gives the sexual advances, and how they plan, all these people, Shane Nigam, Arjun Ashokan, Zinil Sahu, all the gang of people plan to go and attack the medical store owner. But on the same day when they are going to attack the medical store owner, that day Shobin Shahir and team, the druggies, the people who take drug in the movie, come to the scene and they are buying stuff over there, and how the fight takes place is the interval of the movie. After interval, Dulkar tries to resolve this matter, but one day on the beach, a certain unfortunate incident takes place. Our hero Shane Nigam takes a knife and stabs, Shobin Shahir in the leg. What happens after that, which leads to the depression of Shane Nigam, is the story of the movie Parava. I won't give it out to you today, but at the present day, after narrating the flashback, these boys go to school, and how one day, Irshad goes and kisses the burqa girl, and she slaps him, and when Govind comes and asks intimity, he slaps him also. That scene is absolutely fantastic. How that girl goes into missing, and one day in a marriage function they come to know that she is the sister of a certain relative. Those scenes are also very hilarious. But the scene of the movie when all these school kids go to watch a porn movie, that scene is a literal delight. Go and watch that scene. That scene is epic, and how the father, I think the father of Shane Nigam has been played by Siddiqui, if I'm not wrong. How he comes to know that this small kid Irshad Amal Shah had gone to watch porn. I think that scene is the highlight of the movie. Coming to the other scene of the movie, how the two pigeons, are there with Irshad and Hasib. But one day when these two kids decide to steal a pigeon from a certain other gang member, and how that day you put a tablet into a food of a dog and the dog dies, and how after the death of the dog they replace the small dog, the big dog, with another small dog. That scene is absolutely fantastic. But let me tell you one thing, friends, the climax action, the climax cinematography with Little Swayam, the action scene is absolutely fantastic. The scene where Shane Nigam is running in slow motion and he's joined by two other friends of his. Literally, a young crowd of people who came to watch Parava went berserk. So friends, this was a review of the movie Parava. This weekend, if you're free, don't miss this movie on the big screen. How many stars to Parava? I give Parava 4 out of 5 stars. It's a must watch, especially for the fantastic direction of Shobin Shahir. Brilliant acting by Amal Shah and Govind, the two small kids. Dulkar's smashing 30-35 minute cameo and a very controlled performance by Shane Nigam. But this review will be incomplete if I don't mention the name of Jacob Gregory. Jacob Gregory is going to be the future Shobin Shahir, the future Ajju Varghese, because Jacob Gregory as the person who puts white cream, looking like Andrew Simons in this movie and comes to bat in the tail end of the innings is a delight. His few comic scenes are going to leave you in splits. So friends, if you like this review, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. We come with the Malayalam review as soon as it releases outside Kerala. So friends, don't miss to share this review with your friends and do subscribe to my channel. This is me, Amir Ansari, signing off. I will see you in another episode with another new film. Till then, as I always say, stay cool, man.